Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Hari Yashodanandana Brajadanandana Yashodanandana Brajadanandana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Gaur Pimanandi. Jai Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Pradgacharya Stotra Satya Sri Simar His Divine Grace Shira Bhai Charanarvin Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Skandi Biti, Founder Acharyas, Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Janitai Gaura Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Daksuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paritana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Sya Hai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a great means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayasabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, it becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyaya Namaha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
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 Mukham karoti vasanam pangum langayate girim yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. We are continuing to read from the 11th Canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 17, entitled Description of the Varnasrama System. This is a conversation between the Supreme Lord himself, Lord Krishna, and his most confidential and intimate associate, Sri Uddhava. Uddhava is asking some questions, and similar to what we have read in the 7th canto, where Yudhishthira Maharaj, great devotee of the Lord, also asking question to Narada Muni, and Narada Muni very nicely responded. So in a similar way here, we read yesterday until text 15, so now we begin text 16. Shamo Damas Tapa Shaucham Santosha Kshantir Arjavam Mad Bhaktis Cha Daya Satyam Brahma Prakritayas Tu Imaha Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma Praktitayas Tvima Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha
Shamodamastapa
Shocham
Santosha Kshantirarjavam
Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam
Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha
Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma Praktitayas Tvimaha. Anyone else? Shamodamastapa Shocham Santosha Kshantirarjavam Mad Bhaktistadaya Satyam Brahma praktitayasvimaha samaha. Peacefulness. Damaha. The sense control. Tapaha. Austerity. Shaucham. Cleanliness. Santosha. Full satisfaction. Kranti. Forgiveness. Arjavam. Simplicity and straightforwardness. Mat bhakti. Devotional service unto me. Cha. Also. Daya. Mercy. Satyam. Truth. Brahma. Of the Brahmanas. Prakritayaha. The natural qualities. Two. Indeed. Imaha. These. Translation. So we are beginning to read the what we find, of course, practically verbatim in the Bhagavad Gita. The qualities for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So translation to text 16. Peacefulness as self-control, austerity, cleanliness, satisfaction, tolerance, simple straightforwardness, devotion to me, mercy, and truthfulness are the natural qualities of the Brahmanas. Kindly repeat after me. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, cleanliness, satisfaction, tolerance, simple straightforwardness, devotion to me, mercy and truthfulness are the natural qualities of the Brahmanas. No purport. Text 17. Tejo balam dhriti shauryam. Titik shaudaryam ujjamaha. Sairyam brahmanyam aisvaryam. Ksatra prakritayas tvimaha. Translation. Dynamic power, bodily strength, determination, heroism, tolerance, generosity, great endeavor, steadiness, devotion to the Brahmanas, and leadership are the natural qualities of the Kshatriyas. Also, no purport. Text 18. Astikyam dana nistacha. Adambo Brahma Sevanam. Atustir Arto Pasayair. Vaishya Prakritayas Tvimaha. Translation and purport. Faith in the Vedic civilization, dedication to charity, freedom from hypocrisy, service to the Brahmanas, and perpetually desiring to accumulate more money are the natural qualities of the Vaishyas. Anyone here have that tendency? Accumulate more money? We're looking for such a person, actually. Kind of repeat after me here, this one also. Faith in Vedic civilization. Dedication to charity. Freedom from hypocrisy. Service to the Brahmanas. And perpetually desiring to accumulate more money are the natural qualities of the Vaishyas. Report. Atustir arto pasayai. indicates that a Vaishya is never satisfied with any amount of wealth and always wants to accumulate more. On the other hand, he is dhananista, or dedicated to charitable work. Brahmasevi, always engaged in assisting the brahmanas. And adambha, free from hypocrisy. This is due to astikyam, or complete faith in the Vedic way of life, and confidence that one will be rewarded or punished in the next life for one's present activities. The fervent desire of the Vaishyas to accumulate wealth is not the same as ordinary material greed, because it is purified and tempered by the superior qualities mentioned in this verse. I'm glad this point is being made. Otherwise, we will tend to think that Vaishyas are just Maha sense enjoyers, wanting to accumulate more and more money for their own. That is not actually the mentality, especially when we look at the other qualities that are mentioned here. Both the previous verse describing Kshatriya and this verse also, one of the common points is, in the previous one, it mentions Brahma Sevanam, service to the Brahmanas, previous verse. Previous verse was Brahmanyam, which basically means the same, being always eager to serve the Brahmanas. Kshatriya must always, because he represents Dharma, isn't it? So therefore he has been well trained, well educated in understanding the importance of Brahmanas, who are also representing Dharma. They are the ones who are teaching about Dharma. And the king, of course, is also a direct representative of the principles of Dharma. So naturally, Kshatriyas will give all respect and will want to serve. We read about how Brahmanas are given charity. Kings would give cows, would give land to the Brahmanas, and they are always looking after the welfare of the Brahmanas. So Vaishyas, this aspect of accumulating wealth is, as pointed out, rightly pointed out in the purport, is not as we see in modern day society amongst ordinary people who just want to. Some people in this material world are fabulously what we call filthy rich. Filthy rich. They have more money than they can, ever spend.
Ever spend in 10 generations.
Huh?
Ever spend in 10 generations.
Ever spending?
Next 10 generations.
Yeah, even yeah. And it's like that's why they want to go digital now, because then you can store unlimited amounts of wealth. Previously, you would physically have to protect your wealth. So the actual Vaishya, we must always keep in mind, he's one of the three Dvijas. So he, as mentioned here, he has great faith in Vedic culture, Vedic civilization. Every day he performs puja. Every day he gives charity. and in this way he is conscious about the welfare of others, in particular service to the brahmanas, and of course freedom from hypocrisy, important qualification that is there. So, whether we read the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, as described here by the Supreme Lord himself, or whether we read the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam, where Narada Muni describes also the same qualities for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whether we read from Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, it's all it's all in line. It's supporting. It's the same concepts basically being introduced. And so in this way, that's called, what is it? In research, it's called triangulation. You can verify from 3 different sources if the same point is being made, which is, So text 19. Shushrusanam dvijagavam
Sushushanam dvijagavam
divanam chapyamayaya
Devanam chapyamayaya
tatra labdhena santosha
Tatra labdhena santosha
rudra prakritayastvimah.
Shudra prakritayastvima.
Translation: service without duplicity to the brahmanas, cows, demigods, and other worshipable personalities, and complete satisfaction with whatever income is obtained in such service are the natural qualities of Shudras. Short purport. When the entire social order is functioning properly according to Vedic standards, everyone is happy and satisfied. Although the Shudras are to be satisfied with whatever income they obtain through their service, they never lack the necessities of life, because the other orders of society, such as Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, are required to be abundantly generous. And the Brahmanas are well known for being the most merciful of all. And therefore, if all social classes obey the Vedic injunctions, there will be a new and blissful life for the entire human society under the guidance of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Yes. So that is, in many ways, the challenge of the day. It's a challenge both within our own ISKCON society and a challenge outside of our society as well, in general society, to present and to explain and convince individuals, beginning with our own devotees, of the value and the importance of this most scientific system that is explained again and again in our Vedic literatures. It means that when all the members of the varnasrama system, from the top level in terms of brahmanas down to the lower level of shudras, when they are developing these qualities that are mentioned here, then no one is in want or need. Everyone is cared for properly. And just like the residents of Vrindavan, although living in a simple village, no one in Vrindavan would even had no necessity to go outside of Vrindavan, isn't it? I'm always amazed how, Mathura is walking distance. In those days, especially, I mean, even 50 years ago, even maybe now in some villages in India, people walk 1 kilometer, even 5 kilometers, or they go by bicycle nowadays. But previously, walking was the main mode of transportation, most natural, less accidents. Generally, no accidents. Sometimes, maybe. And so, therefore, people in this way would also be healthy by walking. So, although Mathura was close by, I suppose one reason was that everyone knew that there was one personality called Kamsa, and therefore they had no desire to have his darshan. They had Krishna in Vrindavan, and they were fully satisfied with his darshan and fully occupied, engaged in so many ways every single day. We hear about the various pastimes in Vrindavan. So, in other words, that was a feature which modern people don't like very much. A feature of the Vedic culture is that you're satisfied in your local area because you have all your necessities of life are taken care of, and it was usually very few people who would make it a custom to travel. Of course, people were encouraged to travel to holy places, and they would also. Sometimes elderly people, they would, after leaving family life, they would travel sometimes to some holy place, and many people from the village, in seeing them off, would understand that maybe they won't come back, because they're too old, and they'll maybe settle in some holy place, because that is the special feature of the land of Bharatvarsha. It offers many wonderful opportunities for people to go and visit and stay in these different holy places. So this point is being made that when this system is in place, when individuals who are meant to be part of the system of varna and ashrama are qualified, and therefore the need, we tend to not sufficiently stress this aspect. Prabhupada did speak a lot about it, how Vedic culture gives a lot of importance to training and education. And in this way, those who voluntarily accept such type of training and education, then they can become important members, valued members in such a society. Yes. And what was I think there was one or two more. What did we put from 16 to
21.
To 21, right? Okay, yeah. So we have two more here to go. So this is describing the qualifications of individuals within these four orders, within the four varnas. Text number 20 and then 21. Ashocham
Ashaucham
anritam steyam
anritam steyam
naistikyam
naistikyam
shushka vigraha
Shushka Vigraha
Kama Krodha Shatarshascha
Kama Krodhar Shatashascha
Sabhavo Sabhavuntya Vasayinam.
Sabhavuntya Vasayinam.
Translation. Dirtiness, dishonesty, thievery, faithlessness, useless quarrel, lust, anger, and hankering constitute the nature of those in the lower position outside the varnasrama system. Sound familiar? Purport. Here the Lord describes those who reside outside the scientific social system called varnasrama. In Europe and America, this purport is being written by people who are from Europe and America, we have practically observed that the standards of cleanliness are abominable even among so-called educated persons. Going without bathing and the use of indecent language are common. In the modern age, people whimsically speak whatever they like, dispensing with all authority, and there is therefore very little truthfulness or true wisdom. Similarly, in both the capitalistic and communistic countries, everyone is busily engaged in stealing and robbing from everyone else in the name of business, taxation, or outright crime. Who was selling? Prabhu Nityananda.
Gundas.
Huh?
Gundas.
Govinda?
Gundas.
Oh, no. Prabhu Nityananda, because he goes to Calcutta sometimes, and actually even without going to Calcutta, he keeps abreast of some of the news. He was mentioning how quite recently, maybe on 2 occasions, some very prominent personality in the government was caught with, billions of crores. Crores means billions of dollars, the equivalent of billions of dollars actually, in their house, under the bed, in hard cash.
Yes.
Right?
Keeps in his bag.
Yeah. I mean, so this is just like an example of what is, and this is like not, we could say, not uncommon. It's happening in all the countries of the world, and only a few people get uncovered in this way. And Krishna is explaining in the verse here how when we are out of this system and therefore are simply acting whimsically, then this is the kind of situation that is created. The people are not confident in the kingdom of God, nor of their own eternal nature, and thus their faith is very weak for those who have. Moreover, since modern human beings are not very interested in Krishna consciousness, they constantly quarrel, bicker, and fight over completely insignificant issues relating to the material body. It's so true. Thus, at the slightest provocation, there's incidences like in America, maybe you might have seen or heard when you were in America, that people have no patience. If you're following some other cars and that car is going too slow or something, people honk the horn. And I mean, there's incidences of people getting out of the car and just shooting that person, just killing. I mean, we have all heard about the kind of unthinkable atrocities, like people going mad and just, going with a gun and killing, going into some school and killing 50, 60 people, isn't it? Totally out of the blues like that. And this has happened over the years, continues to happen more and more because people are totally uncontrolled, untrained. First and foremost, Prabhupada explains, besides first is food. What else did Prabhupada say that's very important in Vedic culture? First is food. Of course, we should not think that, okay, yeah. First we have to satisfy our stomach. But first is food is a very, sarva kama dugamahi, needs to be understood in that context. All necessities of life. And the first necessity of life is that every day people have to eat. Yeah. And all of that is coming from the land. So the other expression Prabhupada often he would repeat, which is most important in the context of what we're reading here. First is character formation. Gurukul education primarily, first and foremost, to help individuals develop character. Nowadays, we have people who have, degrees, who are graduates or postgraduate, postgraduate, but have no character. It's the worst thing. You have people who are so-called educated but not cultured. So just we'll read quickly here. And thus, at the slightest provocation, there are huge wars and massacres. Yeah, I just mentioned. Lust, anger, and hankering have become practically unlimited in Kali Yuga. Yes, absolutely. The symptoms and characteristics mentioned here can be abundantly observed throughout the world, wherever people have fallen away from the varnasrama system. Yes. Because of sinful habits such as animal killing, illicit sex, intoxication, and gambling, the great majority of human beings have become chandalas or untouchables. So the last verse we'll read here is 21. Ahimsa satyam asteyam
Ahimsa satyamasteyam
akama krodha lobhata
akama krodha lobhatah
bhutta priya hite hacha
bhukta priya hite hacha
dharmoyam sarvavarnikah.
dharmoyam sarvavarnikah.
Translation and purport: non-violence, truthfulness, honesty, desire for the happiness and welfare of all others, and freedom from lust, anger, and greed constitute duties for all members of society. Purport. So this we can connect with the instruction given by Narada Muni, the 30 qualities of human being, right? Yeah. So purport: the word sarva varnika indicates that the above mentioned principles constitute general piety, which should be observed by all members of society, even those outside the varnasrama system. We practically find that even in societies that have fallen away from the varnasrama system, the above mentioned principles are honored and encouraged. Such principles do not constitute a specific path of liberation, but are perennial virtues in human society. Yes. So this gives I guess it's part of the introduction that Lord Krishna is presenting to Uddhava, and it is very consistent, naturally, with what we have read before, and hopefully by hearing about it, we can try to appreciate its importance. Yeah. Any thoughts or comments on what we have heard so far?
The verse for the Shudra, duties for Shudras, it's only mentioned service to Brahmanas. I wonder why service to Kshatriyas and Vaishyas is not mentioned.
Well, it mentions service to
Great personality.
to mention also service to cows. Uh, yeah, that service is because the three orders of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya normally would all have servants, and those servants would be there. Probably because they, in general, they interact less with the brahmanas. I mean, they are more under the direct control of the vaishyas and of the kings, and this is a reminder. Actually, this description. It's nice to hear actually the description of Shudras. Where is it? Yeah. Well, we could say that here it mentions in the translation, Devanam, worshipable personalities, such as the demigods and the spiritual master. Vedic culture, those who are the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas, they are the natural leaders in society, and they're meant to be given respect. So, in that sense, it is covered. Yeah. Service to the Brahmanas, cows, demigods, and other worshipable personalities. So Vedic culture is actually teaching individuals to develop a natural respect and appreciation for certain individuals who have some particular responsibility, just like a respect for elders in Vedic culture is very prominent. We hear descriptions of how, probably much less followed nowadays, but whenever a child would leave home, he would either circumambulate. Did you ever do that? No.
We cannot circumambulate in present.
We cannot.
Also, sir, all
Huh?
jam-packed or stacked.
No. I mean, everybody has some space in an apartment. But one would touch the feet. One would do that, especially before going on some, let's say, pilgrimage, or before leaving. One would seek the blessings of elders, so that this is like built in the Vedic culture. Or it also describes how in the Gurukula the student, before learning, before receiving, he would bow down to the teacher, and I think there are specific words of like prayers, short prayers that are mentioned there, both before and after. Yeah. So that natural respect, honor and respect for elders, for respectable person was an integral part of Vedic culture. So, anything else? Okay. So we can close for now. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Sri Prabhupada ki, Gaurav Yoganandi. So, Narahari Thakur,
Yes.
our neighbor, Patita Pavan Prabhu, yeah. This can be closed, right? This one doesn't close automatically.
Yeah.
Bangla.
Okay. Hindi. Namaste. Telugu-na?
How's our Christoph doing?
He's still weak, so
Still weak? Still having fever? Fever?
not like
Mother tongue,
he has
Telugu,
also
mother tongue, Bengali.
like throat pain,
Okay.
so he's still stay.
Okay.
చాలా సంవత్సరాలు అక్కడ ఉంటాము.
Yeah.